Welcome to the Louisa Project 2027, where we discuss education, entrepreneurship, and innovation. In today's show, we're going to discuss fighting the summer slide in academics. We're also going to discuss 3 ways to raise funds for your business that are often overlooked. And thirdly, we're going to discuss demographics in our small business administration segment. we As you know, as you can see, we're going through some changes with the Louisa Project 2027. And we made some changes to our studio. Please reach out and let us know what you think. You can reach us at Louisa Project 2027 on Twitter, or Mike_Redwine on Twitter. And also you can reach us at louisaproject2027.org. I know that says .com, but that's going to be changed in a minute. All part of the changes we're making at the Louisa Project. Some housekeeping really quick. Please subscribe to the Benjamin Dixon channel on YouTube, and also subscribe to the Louisa Project 2027 channel on YouTube. You can look us up on Google. We're the only one in town. Just look us up and you can find us everywhere we are. But the best place to find us is on Twitter or at our website. Now, on to the show. On our first segment, as I said, we're going to discuss the summer slide. All of us have been through school, and during the summer, we just want to forget about school. We spend from after Christmas vacation on to June or May, June or July, whenever you get out of school. We spend our time thinking about getting to the summer. And when we get to the summer, we don't want to think about school until the last few weeks when we start dreading returning back to school. At least that's how I was, and a lot of my friends growing up, that's how we were. And during that summer, academics was the last thing on our mind. There were some kids that were home reading and couldn't wait to get back to school, but I can't relate to those kids. Perhaps I can now, not so much when I was a kid. So we're going to discuss the Pittsburgh Public Schools, how they're tackling the summer slide. Okay, the Pittsburgh Public Schools, they have a 27-day summer program, and each day in that program, the first couple of hours are dedicated to math and reading/writing, and they find ways to connect them to the other projects within the program, the other courses within the program. For instance, it's called the Summer Dreamers Academy. For instance, they have a bike repair class, and in that bike repair class, they have a reading assignment, and they'll have the kids. They have a writing assignment for the kids to lobby local politicians and local government to to have more bike paths. So there's a relationship. They want to build more bike paths for these bikes that they're repairing. So there's a real world aspect, and that helps everyone learn. When you apply real world applications to anything that you're teaching. So just something to think about. They use games to learn math, and they use theater to help you with your reading and writing. So there's a lot of great things going on there. The Pittsburgh Public Schools. They won the New York Life 2015 Excellence in Summer Learning Award from the National Summer Learning Association, NSLA. It's at summerlearning.org. So this is a big thing. A lot of schools, like for instance, here in the Huntsville, Alabama, the Huntsville City Schools, they have summer reading projects. So the kids have to read a book during the summer. They get to select from 3 to 5 books. They select a book, and they have to do a report or do a movie trailer or something like that for to start the following year, and that's their first graded assignment, right? Just to keep keep their brains working, which is very important. The program is doing so well that other organizations are emulating it. Other cities are emulating it. Cities like Boston, Chicago, Providence, Rhode Island, they're all getting in line and trying to do this. And also, there's a new movement because this can be costly. A lot of libraries in cities are using their spaces to help kids with reading A lot of volunteers will come in, and the kids will read with volunteers. Oftentimes they offer meals, so the kids get to eat, they get to learn, about their library, what the library offers, and it's a good way all around. It's also a much lower cost. You can refer back to the article and to find out what the cost difference is. Additionally, um, something to think about for when it comes to reading, that loss accumulates, right? So that 2 to 3 months you're out for the summer, it's that 2 to 3 months you've lost is not really made up during the following school year in the fall. A lot of times that loss stays and it builds over the years. So when you get to fifth grade, there's each year you've accumulated a 3 month slide. So in some ways you're further behind than you should be. So programs like summer programs can often help kids keep that gap from building so large. And it's very, very, very important for the long-term learning for these kids. So let's keep that in mind. So here's the quote, the money quote for this. Um, we use enrichment to further academic goals. Along with teaching kids the fundamentals of judo or ceramics, they also have an authentic writing project that's incorporated into part of the activity. So, like I was saying before, they have an opportunity to do a writing assignment that's close to that's associated with whatever they're doing, and that can be created from almost anything. All right, so keep that in mind. And we'll go into a little brainstorming shortly. So let's think about that as we go forward. This isn't going to be too much longer. Um, the Also, what we often talk about, the income gap, or this along class lines. This is very important, right? Because children who are in low income to no income families, their opportunities for academic enrichment like this are harder to come by. Kids with higher incomes and families of means can easily offer summer enrichment for their children. So let's keep that in mind as many cities latch onto these programs and try to keep that summer slide from happening. So let's do a little brainstorming. That's pretty much it for that article. A lot of states are working on this summer slide, and it's imperative that we consider it strongly when we're building programs for our kids. Now, for you entrepreneurs out there, can your idea, whatever your idea is, be adapted to these summer programs? For instance, is there a cost-effective way to offer programs like this to families of lesser means? All right. So perhaps you can have a program like the library is doing that is just purely volunteers, so you don't have to have that cost of personnel. And there are enough people out there that really want to help. If you canvass your community, you'll find a lot of people that want to help. Of course, you have to do your due diligence and check the backgrounds of these people, and try to keep bad actors out of your project or program. But just something to think about. So if you have an idea, an academic idea that can be adapted for the summers, think about that. And it's also a great laboratory experiment for your idea, right? If your idea is viable, you can get a snapshot of the idea in 4 to 6 weeks of how that idea can work for the long term. So if you have a good project that helps kids academically, you have that 4 to 6 week, 4 to 8 week snapshot of how it can help. So it can really help your organization as well, and it can help build your program. It can help you work out a lot of the kinks during that summertime, and then when you're ready to roll into the fall, ready to rock and roll with a much better product or service. So there are a lot of things to think about. So just broaden your thinking and find out ways. And oftentimes you could volunteer your services, okay? Because you're going to gain in the long run. You say, okay, My company is going to run this program for free. We're going to use all volunteers. Just let us do it and it'll help us build. It helps us build our programs, and it'll help the city. So some things to think about, and that's time. You're not losing time, right? You're gaining valuable insight into your business model. So it's a great opportunity for you, and it's a great opportunity for the children. It's a great opportunity for the community. So just something to think about, some things to think about. Thanks for listening to me babbling. We're gonna go to a commercial really quick that I finally fixed, and we're gonna move on to the next segment where we're gonna discuss 3 ways to raise money for your business. Thank you. Hi, I'm Mike Redwine of the Louisa Project 2027, one of the great shows on the Benjamin Dixon channel. Please subscribe to the Benjamin Dixon channel on YouTube, and watch out for these great shows during the week. On Monday, the Benjamin Dixon Show comes on at 9. On Tuesday, The Way with the Noah at 8 p.m. and the Benjamin Dixon Show at 9 p.m. On Wednesday, the Louisa Project 2027 is available, and the Benjamin Dixon Show is on at 9 p.m. Thursday, Project Sanity at 7 p.m. and again, the Benjamin Dixon Show at 9 p.m. And on the first Monday of every month is the Takedown with Nick Nolan. Thank you. Welcome back to the Louisa Project 2027, where we discuss education, entrepreneurship, and innovation. Our next segment, we're going to discuss three ways to raise money for your business that are often overlooked. This is from entrepreneur.com. The writer is Chris Overbeck. He's the chairman and CEO of Saratoga Investment Corporation. Right now, banks aren't loaning money the way they used to, right? Especially the larger banks. A lot of the local banks are still in the business of loaning money to small businesses and building business, but the environment is just not what it used to be. So a lot of times you're going to have to find other ways to raise funds. Sometimes you can't get it all from one source. You're going to have to get it from multiple sources, but you have to get those funds for your business to grow. I mean, this is just a fact of life in business in the United States. So we're going to discuss 3 ways in which your business may overlook in ways to raise money for your business. I'm not cutting that. We're going forward. All right. So the first one we're going to talk about is applying for government grants. Government a grant versus a loan grant, you don't have to pay it back. Because it's a grant and you don't have to pay it back, the competition is fierce. Sometimes you'll get lucky and find a grant that very few people know about. If you get that lucky, God bless you. Somebody bless you. And you put in your you file for the grant, you do your grant application, and you show them exactly what your business is going to do, and oftentimes that you have an opportunity to get the grant. So what you'll often do, hopefully we'll have a grant writer on in the near future to discuss things about grant writing and how to find grants in your particular field, because grants oftentimes are government or from government, and a lot of times they're from private organizations or private organizations dishing out government money, like the Lumina Foundation in education. They can't grant money from several sources, and they'll check out what your company does, and they'll decide whether they'll provide you a grant, right? And that's one of the services they provide. It's Lumina Foundation, Lumina.org. Just look up Lumina Foundation. A lot of great information on their site. And these grants, they're oftentimes, because you don't have to pay them back, they are a boon to your business, and they can help it grow. But there's a lot of reporting that needs to be done with a lot of these grants. What you're doing with the grant money, because most grants are for a specific purpose, right? What are you doing with the grant money? How is your project coming along? And answer a lot of questions you would have to answer with any other investor, right? Because a grant is an investment in your company, and they're going to want to know that grant money is being used as they deem as you and the organization agreed upon, and that's very important. And that's how they keep getting their grant money. They have to make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. So that's very important. Another that's the first one, grants. The second one is business development centers. Sometimes the small business development centers run by the Small Business Administration. Sometimes they're incubators run by also by the Small Business Administration. Sometimes by different organizations within the government. Sometimes it's from philanthropists who will get together and help. We call them philanthropists. A lot of times they're just looking for an investment opportunity. Well, they'll have these incubators in certain cities. There's one here in Huntsville. Can't think of the name of it off the top of my head. It's over by University of Alabama, Huntsville. It's right across the street from the campus. Can't miss it. Um, so there's a lot of they oftentimes will help you find loans from sometimes other than a bank. Um, Sometimes from other sources other than a bank, and they also help you find grants. So these business development centers will help you track down cash that's available to you. And a lot of times, the cash that's available to you, again, is based on what you're doing. There's a lot of tech money out there, education money out there, areas, especially when it comes to STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. There's a lot of grant money out there for that, and there's a lot of loan money out there for that. Sometimes you get the opportunity that part of that loan will be a buy-in into your company. So you sell a portion of your company as to repay that loan. So there's a lot of ways to look at it. So just look into these business development centers. You can look them up, and let me see if I can find their website. The Small Business Administration is one. Just look up business development centers in your area, and you'll be able to access that information. All right, and the third and final one is online lending options. This article from entrepreneur.com lists three websites on deck, Cabbage with a K, and Snapcap. Okay, these online lending organizations, a lot of times it's most times venture capitalists who want to offer opportunity for people to get money to start their business or funds to run their business. All right. Um, it's sometimes a lot of times the rate is higher than a local bank, but if you want a fast turnaround, you've got a great business idea, or you want to expand your business and you need a quick turnaround for cash, you can go to these sites and check them out. Once again, this is on entrepreneur.com. It's uh, three commonly overlooked ways. Put it up on the screen. Three commonly overlooked ways uh, business owners can raise funds by Chris Oberbeck. So of those three things are looking for grants, business development centers, and online lending operations. Be very careful with those online lending operations. Read the fine print. I mean, I can't tell you who's good, who's bad. Maybe perhaps we'll get somebody on, but please be very careful about it. Just like anything else, be very careful of the agreements you sign to get this cash. Okay. All right. So that's it for that segment. Thanks for watching. We're going to go to a commercial again. The commercial I finally fixed. So I'll see you on the other side. Thanks. Hi, I'm Mike Redwine of the Louisa Project 2027, where we discuss education, entrepreneurship, and innovation. We would love to talk to some community colleges, whether you're an administrator, a teacher, a student at a community college. We'd love to talk to you. I would love to hear about how you're reaching out to the community and how you're impacting lives. Just reach out to us at Louisa Project 2027 or Mike_Redwine on Twitter. Thank you. Welcome back to the Louisa Project 2027, where we discuss education, entrepreneurship, and innovation. This is our Small Business Administration segment. Please go to especially if you're just starting out, please go to SBA.gov. There is a wealth of free information that is invaluable for a business just starting out. SBA.gov. Don't miss out on it. There's courses there. There's all kinds of resources there. They'll give you access to small business development centers like we discussed in the last segment. There's plenty of stuff there for you to look up and check out. Please do so. Okay. All right. So we're going on to demographics. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a creative, right? So stuff like demographics, even though I will do my research and I have done my research and I'll dig into the numbers, not exciting to me at all. Some of you folks, this is, some of you guys, some of you guys and ladies um, that like digging into numbers and love doing research. Lord bless you. I'm just not one of those folks. So I'm just gonna run this. I'm gonna run this down and help you understand basically what demographics are and what resources are available for you, and what the value of demographics are to you. All right. Demographics are the characteristics of a human population: race, education level, location, income level. I mean, uh, it's a broad area. Okay, so this can help you target your market for your business. It's really the only way, especially when you're first starting out. You can have a lot of things in your head about where you think your market is, and how you think your market is, how valuable you think your product is in a particular market or a particular area. And sometimes when you do your research, you'll find that, okay, I was wrong. This is not where I'm supposed to be with my business. And sometimes you may have to relocate. Hey, for instance, for me, right here in North Alabama, Huntsville is the spot, right? If you do anything in the world of academics, Huntsville is the spot. If you want to have a business built around academics, Huntsville is the place, right? So the Huntsville area, right? So there's areas within Huntsville. There's two hot spots. I think I've discussed it before. There's Madison, Alabama, which has the second highest median income in the state. It's an amazing $89,000 per family, which is crazy, or rather per household, especially for Alabama. It's nearly unheard of. And there is also on the southern side of Huntsville, Hampton Cove, Alabama is the other area where I live. Right, Hampton Cove, Alabama. I forget, off the top of my head, I can't remember what the median income is, but it's really high, right? But Madison, if you're looking to market to, say for instance, high school students, there are more families in Madison, right? So you're better off because you understand the demographics. There's more families with money in that area, right? And an average of 2.5 kids or whatever it is. Madison is the place for that business, right? There are places where there are high incomes, but it's older people, right, who are retirees, or they've retired, they've stopped working because they've made enough money, or whatever the case may be, and those incomes are high, but these are older people, so there aren't high schoolers to sell your products to. That's not the case in Hampton Cove, but that's a little bit too specific for this discussion. But it's just an idea of how demographics can help you target, right? For instance, I lost my purple highlighter. This is my new pepper spray pen. If you watch the show, my pepper spray pen that I market to law enforcement. Hypothetically or theoretically, I market this pepper spray pen to law enforcement. I need to know what law enforcement organizations have money, right? So, for instance, here in Huntsville, Alabama, here in the Huntsville area, Huntsville and Madison are the places. If you want to sell anything to law enforcement, you got to reach out to those places, right? Because those places are growing, and they have the tax revenue to make big purchases across the police force, right? As a matter of fact, Hampton Cove, Alabama falls under the Huntsville, Alabama police force. So there's a lot of things you need to look at, like for Owens Crossroads proper. In Owens Crossroads, there's like 10 police officers, and it's not a lot of people, so it makes sense. So selling there, yeah, you could sell there. Of course, you want to sell your product, but your opportunities are in Madison and Huntsville. And these are just some things to look at some ways that demographics can help you market your product. Now, we're going to move on to ways to do your research, websites to do your research and target your customers. Again, this is on SBA.gov demographics, right? So Google, go to the website SBA.gov. It's an absolute must if you're a business person just starting out. I'm going to go down the websites that they have and their links and brief descriptions. So I'm just going to go down the line here. American Fact Finder, great site, provides access to a wealth of population, housing, economic, and geographic data from the U.S. Census Bureau. The U.S. Census Bureau is one of the greatest resources we have in the country for businesses. So it's something for you to look at. State and County Quick Facts provides frequently requested Census Bureau information at the national, state, county, and city levels. Great resource. Current population statistics shares information gathered in a monthly survey of about 50,000 households conducted by the Bureau of Census for the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the BLS, is a great resource, something to think about. Labor demographics makes data that has been collected by the Bureau of Labor Statistics available for specific demographic categories, including sex, age, race, and ethnic origin. A lot of great information. Social Security fact sheet on demographic groups offers fact sheets on all demographic groups, including women and young people. And finally, the U.S. Census Bureau Quick Facts gives access to facts about people, business, and geography. So some great stuff to think about. Go to SBA. Again, I can't stress anymore. Go to SBA.gov. Get this data so you can build, especially if you're doing a business plan. Whoever's reading that business plan, if you're doing a business plan and you want to get funding, and if you're writing a grant and you want to get funding, you have to have demographic data in your business plan. If you don't have demographic data in your business plan, they're just going to toss it away because you haven't done your homework, and rightly so. All right. I think that's it, folks. Again, this is the Louisa Project 2027. We're making some changes to the studio, new camera, new software. So we're going to be in and out. There's going to be some weeks where we'll run an old interview or something like that. And so just bear with us. By September, early September, we should be back on track and ready to rock and roll. Reach out to us if you would like to do an interview. If you're a fledgling business or if you're in the business, especially if you're in the business of education, please reach out to us. If you're in community college, in the world of community colleges, we would really like to talk to some community colleges. So reach out to us and give us a shout. We would love to talk to community colleges because we at the Louisa Project, we're very firm on community colleges being a linchpin for the success of the country in the future. So please reach out to us. Thank you.